The sun had only just started to rise over Crimson Mountains when Madamea, 72 years old, walked into Grand Summit Arena. Her spotless white GI and neatly tied black belt stood out like a silent challenge. She moved with calm confidence, head held high, her dark skin glowing under the bright arena lights. People started whispering right away. "Who let someone's grandma in here?" A teenager joked, trying not to laugh. Across the room, a woman leaned over to her daughter and whispered, "Poor thing must be lost, probably looking for her grandkids." Madamea heard every word, every laugh, but her face stayed calm. She didn't say a thing, but her silence spoke louder than their jokes. Today was the Regional Martial Arts Championship. The air was thick with sweat, pride, and competition. Young fighters stretched, posed, and threw flashy punches. Coaches shouted instructions like drill sergeants. Madamea walked up to the registration table. The young white woman at the desk froze when she saw the name. "You're competing?" she asked, wide-eyed. "Yes," Madamea answered calmly. "Special category. I registered months ago." The girl hesitated, then handed her the badge with shaking hands. "Good luck." Word spread fast. Soon, the whole arena buzzed with mocking excitement. "Is this some charity match?" someone whispered. "Maybe she's doing a senior citizen demo." Imagine getting knocked out by her. Instant shame. Then Kalen Thorne entered. 6'2", broad shoulders, shaved head, and an ego as big as his 3-year win streak. A 24-year-old black belt, undefeated and proud of it. The energy in the arena shifted when he showed up, his crew trailing behind him like loyal pets. Kalen spotted Madamea right away. "Wow," he said loud enough for all to hear. "Looks like the organizers added both diversity and age quotas today." The crowd burst into laughter. Kalen wasn't done. He pulled out his phone and started live streaming. "Guys, check out my match today." A grandma who broke out of a retirement home. He zoomed in on Madamea's face. "Smile for the camera, Grandma. Tell my fans what it's like walking into your own funeral." She lifted her gaze, not angry, not shaken. Calm, strong. "Respect," she said softly, "isn't given. It's earned." That line hit harder than any punch. A few people went quiet. Kalen's smirk faded, just for a moment, but he shook it off. Master Rohan, one of the tournament officials, approached her. "Madamea, we know your history. Your championships were legendary. But at your age, and well," he trailed off, unsure if he meant her age or something else. She smiled. "We all have limits. What matters is how we use them." Rohan sighed and nodded. "If that's your decision, you're in. But just know, someone go easy on you." "Neither will I," she replied. When the match schedule flashed on the big screen, the crowd gasped. Kalen Thorne versus Madamea Vance. Kalen stood dramatically, cracking his knuckles. "Oh, this is going to be fun." The crowd roared with laughter. Madamea calmly closed her eyes for a second. Then she stood, her movement slow, but full of purpose. Years of training sharpened every step. As she stepped onto the mat, the air grew heavy with judgment. Kalen couldn't help himself. Loud enough for all to hear, he said, "Hey, Black Grandma, hope you signed your life insurance before coming in." Gasps, awkward laughs. Madamea stood in the center of the mat and bowed with quiet respect. Kalen bowed too, but with a mocking flair. The referee signaled to start. Kalen started off casually, circling her like a hunter playing with its prey. "Come on, old lady, show me what senior strength looks like." He suddenly lunged, throwing a light punch toward her shoulder. More show than strike. She didn't even blink. He laughed. "You should be home knitting, not out here embarrassing yourself in front of a crowd." In the stands, a boy whispered, "She's not scared." Kalen went for a spinning kick, fast, sharp, aimed at her head. Gasps filled the arena. But Madamea stepped aside, just once. The kick missed. Kalen stumbled forward. For the first time that day, he looked unsure. The crowd went quiet. Just as Kalen turned for another flashy move, she finally shifted. "Aren't you going to fight?" Kalen barked, circling her, frustrated. "This is karate, not a meditation class." The crowd was divided. Some people laughed even louder, but others started trading uncertain looks. Matamea hadn't fallen. She hadn't attacked either. But she also hadn't let Kalen land a single real hit. Kalen threw a high kick. She blocked it. He aimed a punch. She dodged with effortless control. His smirk slowly faded, replaced by frustration. This wasn't the easy, humiliating match he had expected. His strikes became more forceful, but Matamea stayed calm, her breathing steady, her eyes focused. She studied his every move, reading him like a book. Kalen's temper finally broke. "Listen, you old woman," he growled between heavy breaths, sweat dripping down his face. "You think that dusty black belt makes you special? This is my arena. You hear me?" The referee held up a yellow card, unsportsmanlike behavior. Kalen barely noticed. Then something shifted in Matamea. For the first time, she stepped forward. Kalen instinctively moved back half a step. Their eyes locked. "Karate isn't about owning territory, boy," she said quietly. "It's about spirit, and you've already lost yours." Before he could speak, she struck. A quick, clean hit aimed low, center gravity. Kalen hit the mat hard. He blinked up at the ceiling, dazed. The arena fell completely silent. The referee raised his hand. A clear point for Matamea. She returned to her stance, calm as ever. Kalen scrambled up, pride bruised and ego shattered. He charged at her blindly. But she remained steady, moving with control, dodging, blocking, striking with precision. Then during one wild move, Kalen misjudged his attack. Matamea took advantage of the opening. A clean hip throw sent Kalen crashing to his knees. The crowd erupted. Some people cheered. Others just stared, stunned. The referee raised his hand again. Matamea had won. The arena exploded with applause. Kalen sat on the mat, breathing hard, drenched in sweat. But the worst pain wasn't physical. It was shame. Matamea bowed, respectfully, first to Kalen, then to the referee, then to the crowd. As she turned to leave, she glanced back one last time. "He who fights with anger," she said, "loses long before the match begins." As she walked away, the crowd stood and clapped. At first it was quiet. Then came wave after wave of applause, following her out. Kalen stayed on his knees, staring at the floor. His friends, once loud and laughing, stood silently now, exchanging uncomfortable glances. No one said anything. Some walked away, not wanting to meet his eyes. The referee came over and offered him a hand. Kalen refused. He stood up on his own, still shaking. Outside the arena, she passed a group of young students. A little girl with a yellow belt tugged at Matamea's sleeve. "Ma'am, I want to fight like you one day." Matamea smiled gently. "Then fight with heart," she said, "and honor those who teach you." Some of the parents who had mocked her earlier now clapped for her. A few quietly muttered apologies. Reporters were already waiting outside, cameras flashing. A video of Kalen's defeat had gone viral. One young reporter ran up to her. "Matamea, you're trending. Can we get a statement?" She raised an eyebrow, confused. "Trending?" "On social media," the reporter grinned. "Your fight, it's everywhere." She looked into the camera. Her voice as calm and steady as always. "This wasn't just my fight," she said. "It was for everyone who's been told they're too old, too weak, or that they don't belong. For those whose voices were ignored. I fought for them. To remind the world, respect is earned." Back inside the arena, Kalen sat alone, staring at the phone in his hands, watching the video of his loss. His face was red, not just from sweat, but from regret, maybe something deeper. Master Rowan walked over and placed a hand on his shoulder. "Kalen, today wasn't a loss. It was a lesson. Be thankful you learned it while you're still young." Kalen didn't speak, but for once he listened. Later, during the award ceremony, the crowd gasped as Matamea stepped up onto the podium. She raised her medal, not with pride, but with quiet strength. Beside her, two much younger girls wiped tears from their eyes. "Thank you, Matamea," one whispered. "We'll never forget this." The crowd clapped again, long, loud, full of respect. And somewhere deep inside Kalen, something began to shift.